Hey everyone, this is Rachel Gardner, and this is Spiritual Musings of a Popcorn Brain, and we are entering into Season 6. And this is just a step beyond the previous season where we were learning how to hear God speak to us. But this is more about God working in our life, which will definitely involve hearing Him speak to us, but usually that's after the fact. He does something to us, through us, or for us, and often we don't realize until later what He did. So I hope that you are encouraged by these stories and that you will share them with others that you believe can be encouraged by these stories. So today I have with me a friend, Marie Stirman, and she is going to tell a story. She's got a story of a time when God did something amazing in her life. No doubt it was Him. So take it away, Marie.
Well, we just want to reiterate, it was all Him, because I am a horse crazy loving person, and I had this pony named Dusty, and his first name was called Popcorn. That should have given me a hint. But I was training Dusty to canter and then stop, because usually little kids, when they get to cantering or trotting, they plop off, they end up falling off Dusty. And so I was training him to stop when he felt no pressure on his back. And I had already successfully did an emergency dismount. And so I usually do things in threes. So I was going to do it one last time and then call it quits, and then do it again the next day and so forth. So we've been working up to it. So now we were up to 3 dismounts at one time. So we were heading back to the barn, and we were at a canter, and I could do emergency dismount 1 and 2 were just like clockwork. Well, the third one didn't go off so well as clockwork, because my big fat foot hit his rump when I was getting off, and that made me fall. And as a result, I landed, instead of on my feet, on my left elbow, and I ended up with a compound fracture on my elbow. And we were going a pretty good clip of doing a canter, and I kind of rolled a little bit, and so Dusty kept going. And I was on the ground, and I remember yelling for help, and then I said, wait a minute, that's not going to work, because they're in the house and I'm out here in the back 40, so I'm going to need to ask for God's help. And it just, God was leading me through some scripture of I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, which is Philippians 4:13. Thank you. And then there's another one, which I forget, but I can remember saying this: when I am weak, He is strong, and He can carry me through whatever I'm going through. So I did my little medical issue of testing different areas to see just what my body was and what state it was in. And I had a couple head lacerations, so, you had, anytime you scrape your head, even if it's just a little bit, it bleeds.
Yeah.
But this is how great God was. So I just took a deep breath, and I just started talking to God like He was just right there. And I said, okay, God, I'm going to need You to help me get me back to the house. And so I had to get up off the ground. So I just quoted Philippians 4:13. And I said, okay, I, Marie, can do all things through You, Jesus, who strengthens me. And in this, I'm going to claim I can roll over cautiously and get to my knees. And so so I was able to get up on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was great, getting up on my feet, but now I had to walk.
Yeah.
So this is where...
How far was it at this point?
Over 100 yards.
Wow.
And my family was inside watching TV. So,
oh, goodness.
So they were glued. They had, I call it TV-itis.
I'm familiar with that.
So I knew they weren't going to hear me. So I just said, okay, all right, you and me, Lord. And so once my head stopped swaying, and I said, okay. And I said, I need another verse. And he goes, all right, say it with me, Marie. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Okay? We got that. I said, how about helping me take my first step? And he goes, what about this one? When I am weak, you are strong, Father. And through you, you will help me take my next step. And so every step I took, I alternated between those two verses.
Wow.
And when I felt woozy, I just stopped and I said, Jesus, I really need your strength here. I need you to help clear my head. And you know what? He got me all the way back. And then I looked at the stairs because I had to go up the stairs, and I said, okay, Father, this is going to be on you. Help me get up these stairs. So I know what's 7 stairs. You know, when you don't have anything wrong, you're good to go. But when you
Yeah.
So he helped me up every step, and all I said was, when I am weak, you are strong. Please move through me. And one step at a time, we got up the stairs. And then I opened up the door to go in the house, and yep, they were all sitting there watching the TV. And I looked at my husband, Charles, and I said, I have a boo-boo. Could you come meet me? Could you come meet me into the bathroom? Because I didn't want to show that I had a compound fracture of my elbow, because the girls, I didn't want them to freak out.
How old were they at this time?
They were 10 and 7.
Wow.
So, yes. So I went into the bathroom and I sat down on the toilet because the seat was down and I needed to sit down.
Yeah.
And then my husband came in and I said, hi, can you help me? And his face turned so pale. And I said, it's really not that bad.
Oh my gosh.
Because
you're still alive?
That's right. Yes, I'm still alive. And I've got God on my side, and he got me here. And I said, but we're going to need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And so next thing you know, he helps me get down because I couldn't bend my left. I basically took out my elbow. I have no elbow bone. It's called the elecron. I think I may missaid it, but
it's okay.
It's the elbow pointy bone.
Okay.
That's totally gone.
Okay.
And I had a compound fracture, so I really busted up my elbow really well.
Wow.
But God never left me. That's the thing. He was always there. I felt his presence. And, so my hubby went out and I heard the saw go. So he made me a splint. Isn't that great? So he made me a splint. And he also called our friends, longtime friends grew up with, and they came over and they took care of the kids. And so then we were off to the doctors, and they got me, we had to wait a little bit till midnight before they could do any surgery because I had eaten breakfast that morning, and so you had to have an empty stomach when you go into surgery. So we went into surgery. They cleaned it all out, and they placed metal to put it all back together. I mean, forget the little elbow bone, but I had metal to hold the other pieces together.
Oh, goodness.
And but, I wasn't scared. I was at peace because I knew who was with me.
Yeah.
And even when I was being prepped, he brought people in to see me.
Aww.
And what was so great about that was the fact that the nurses, the surgery nurses, and we prayed, and the doc and I prayed, and, I was just telling them, God's going to get me through this.
So, this may sound like the end of this story, but there is so much more to this story. So, please tune in next week and hear the rest of this amazing story. If you agree with me that God has called us to share our testimonies, to encourage other believers, and possibly to help some non-believers come to know and understand and accept and love Jesus, then please subscribe, follow, share with anyone and everyone that you think would be encouraged. Help support this ministry by liking it or leaving a positive comment, all those things that the world looks at that says, oh, this is quality, but they only look at numbers. So help me in that endeavor if you agree with what I'm trying to do here. So that being said, I also have another podcast called Scripture for Life, and it's a daily Bible reading. And if you're interested in that one as well, please see the description below.